Hi guys, so I was asked a few questions once I posted my lentil beads and just about like how you get them from going wonky and how do you choose colors to make them pop and all that kind of stuff. So bear with me because I don't do tutorials and down the road maybe, but at this point I'm so new. I just started this whole thing in January. So anyways, bear with me, but I'm going to show you how I do it. And right now I'm working on a project for a client. I made her some polymer clay cutters, and I wanted to do a layer of clay on the top so when she pushes down on the cutter, it doesn't hurt her hands. And so I'm going to use this section here because her favorite colors are purple and teal. And so I made a whole bunch of these little lentil beads. And what I had done was I put together a little cane. It was bigger than this. This is tiny now. This is just the end of it. But I put together this little cane of teal, purple, black, and white. And every single one of these lentil beads is different, which is so cool because they were all taken from slices of that same cane, and I just rolled them together, and that's what I came up with. So, but I also brought out some other just colors that I thought, we could do some contrasting. So let's just do this, and I'll show you what I do. So, drop my knife. All right. So on this, I would just take probably a chunk like that big for this project that I'm doing for her because I don't want the beads to be too big. I'm going to slice them and put them into like a long strip. So anyway, I just take this amount or however big you want, but I wouldn't go any bigger than this. This would be a really pretty big lentil bead. But anyway, you want to be able to control what you're doing. That's the main thing. And start with a clean surface and you just roll. Okay, and I don't ever set it down intentionally. I just drop it and go. That's just my deal. And then the thing that I was taught was just, or as I've watched other people do it, is to make sure, just take my watch off, it'll make noise, to keep my hands where they're both resting on the tile or whatever I'm using, whatever surface. And then I'm using an acrylic or a plexiglass little square. And I just start going. And already I can see that it's gonna start mixing. And I just kind of spin it around. I do wider and then I come in smaller. And I get to where I have that pretty strong diamond shape. And then I just keep twirling. The main thing is just to keep that balance if I feel like the balance is getting off. And then if you have to stop and pick it back up, just make sure that you spin in the same direction that you were going before. Otherwise your swirl will turn and go the other way. So I'll go fast and then I'll slow down just to see where it's at. And I'm liking that. It's pretty good. I like the contrast. I hope you guys can see. Let's see. I'll move it over to this white section a little bit better. And then when I get to a place that I really like, because the colors can change really fast, what happens is the force of the spin will suck in your colors. So any colors that you really want, like these outside colors on this one, I want them to stay. So I don't want to do too much more. So I'm just going to go really slow and get it just right where I like the edges and the tilt and everything else. And then I personally don't do high lentil beads. I kind of smush mine down a little bit. And then it's done. You have it. And that's a really pretty one. I like that one. Here, we'll do another one. We can cut if you have like a scrap bead or whatever, just as long as they're contrasting colors. I find that either using metallics really helps a lot in making interesting things, but you want to make sure that you have like black and white or just some really contrasting colors in there. Black and white really helps a lot when you're making them, I think. So here's a little bit bigger of one, and I just roll it up, drop it, and let's see what happens. The ones that are more mixed up like this tend to take a little bit longer to get to a place that I really like. But I'll spin, and again, I just get it in that, you know, where it's like this diamondy shape almost. And now I have no idea which direction I was going, but I'm not in a place yet in this bead to worry about it. So I'm just gonna spin. Let's get back to a place where I can have both my hands are resting on this glass tile. And then you slow down and see where it's at. Yeah, that's kind of coming along. But you see, okay, so now this was my problem in the beginning. I start getting ovally like that. And if that's the case, sometimes I'll just go and pinch it a little bit to reshape it and then put the acrylic back down and start again. And so, a lot of times I've gotten used to it now where if it starts to go ovally, I'll just reshape it with my square as I'm going. And you know, I've got a pile over here of just muddy ones. So it's not 100% each time, you know, it just takes a lot of practice. I mean, I've had so many turn out just like mud. So be patient with yourself. But what was cool for me is that I was practicing and practicing, and then I let it alone for a few days, and I came back and tried it again, and it just clicked for some reason that day. It was like, boom, done. So there's another one. And all the swirls, it's interesting how they turn so different. Like each one can have the same color combos, but you won't get two the same. Not in my experience anyways. I'm sure Samantha Burrows or other professional clayers could get them to match. I saw a tutorial of hers where she did two in like a black and some other colors, that red I know was in it, and she made a kind of pretty much matching set of earrings. It was really pretty. So you know, always more practice. But let's see what happens. I love using metallics. I think metallics are really awesome. So I'm gonna take a little bit of copper, a little bit of gold, and let's throw in some peacock. Peacock pearl, and let's do a little ecru and some green. Sure, why not? Let's just see. Who knows? This might be really ugly. I have no idea. I'm going to take a little bit of white and a little bit of black. Now I'm out of regular black. I only have black souffle right now. So, but I have an order coming. Yay. Go sculpeyproducts.com. Shout out. All right. So I've got, and you know, none of these clays have been, oh no. Yeah, I conditioned all of these. Never mind. So I do start with conditioned clay, but let's just put all of these together. Just bump, 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 and bump. And I'm going to roll that up. Sometimes I'll twist it a little bit, just get it all kind of mixed in there. Main thing is you want to start with where you can see colors that you want to see on the outside. So yeah, I think that's probably good. Let's see, this could be a horrible one or a really wonderful one. I'm going to cut it in half because I don't really like doing ones that are massive. Okay. Give it a whirl. This is a pretty big one. What I like about the metallics is that they seem to almost do like a Skinner blend type of a look when you get them worked enough. See, it went wonky again, but I'm just reshaping it back into that cone. I don't know the names of all the beads, but I know that there's a name. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to round it back out again. And you just have to feel, like with pressure, how you're going to get that even circle. This one's really wanting to continue to do the oval-y deal. Yeah, so I'm happy with this color combo. I think this is really pretty, and I have it in that shape. So, and I know that I was doing this side going this way, so now I'm going to start to get it back from a pure or a diamondy whatever into a round shape. And like I said before, when I like the colors where they are, I will slow way down and just roll carefully until I'm happy with the result. This one really wants to keep going oval. But that made for an interesting one. It's got some, it's an interesting, and you know, for me, if I was gonna keep this one, I'd probably roll it up again and do it again. But that's where you run the risk of getting muddy colors. So we'll try again. But I know that the way that this works is that all the colors get pulled into the center and like back down and out. So it's kind of like a black hole, but it has an end. So I hope all of this is making sense. But again, mainly just keeping my hands on the tile so that my balance is really steady. Yeah, now I like that better. That's nice. That's those metallics really, it's almost like they make their own Skinner blend when they touch other colors and go in this centrifugal type motion. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty. So let's try, oh, ow, my back. Let's try, I wanted to see, honestly, just for myself, I want to see, because I really like earth tones. I'm like a big fan of earth tones. So I want to see what burnt umber, sienna, forget the other, something sienna, ecru, some copper, some light gold, and some green, and some teal. And I think that's good. And I'm gonna just roll this out. Let's just spin it a little bit. And I'm not using any white or black in this one, and I just wanna see what an earth tone bead looks like in a lentil bead. I haven't done one, so I have no idea. You know, I was fearing that maybe I will add just a little white, just because, not black though, because black I think is gonna muddy up those browns really fast. But that's just from knowing, I studied color theory for a long time. I was a hairstylist for 20 years. And also then when I went to college at the age of 40 to art school, and I studied color theory there too. So color is one of the things that I just like playing with the most. I think that's probably my favorite thing is color. Although I really like black and white images. I do a lot of pen and ink drawings and stuff like that, so. And don't worry about if your white gets dirty. What I've noticed, it's not a big deal. Just let it go. And then before you bake, just take the alcohol, take a little bit of alcohol and put it on a baby wipe and just wipe it off. And everything just gets spanking clean. It's really nice. So let's see how this one does. Again with the oval. I think, you know what I think I do? I do better with smaller amounts of clay on these. Let's reshape this just a little bit. But honestly, it all comes down to practice. I practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. Come on, you. Don't be a turd. Of course, this is all going to happen to me while I'm on camera. It doesn't happen as often when I'm not on camera, but isn't that life? This stuff's in my way. Okay, let's do this. All right. So I'm going to get it into that diamond shape, or whatever you want to call this. I don't even know, like a top, like a spinning top. I'm going to get it into this shape here. And then, oh. Now I'm going to slow down and see where my colors are at. Oh, that's looking good. I want a little more white in the center. So I'm going to keep spinning it, but I'm going to go slow now because I don't want to lose all that vibrancy on the outside. It just will get sucked in. So I'm just going to spin slow until I'm happy with the blend. Oops. Did I turn it over? I did. Whoops. I'll have to go this way. Let's go this way. They can turn oval really quickly if you're not balanced, and that's what having your hands resting on this tile really helps resolve, although I'm not giving you a good example of that. My chair is squeaking. That's probably annoying to listen to. So now what again, those metallic colors, I love it because they will just do this Skinner blend where like my white now is almost become this very thin, see-through, transparent layer, and the metallic is showing through. But yeah, that one turned out cool too. I mean, for, you know, for something fun and bright, I mean, I don't know, especially for people who like green. That's a fun one. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. That's really all I've got. Just keep practicing, again, using the contrasting colors. You can, you know, you don't have, I mean, it doesn't, you can do scrap clay just like this, or you can plan it out and have it like this, where you've got like 4 different squares. Just practice and play and have fun. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.